to talk about the narratives that we have going in our mind, because I keep talking about letting go of the stories. And on the twin flame journey, the key is letting go of the stories that you're telling yourself. You have to completely release them. And the only way to completely release them is to give up hope. You have to lose that hope. As long as you're holding on to any kind of hope, you are keeping that chase, that constant attention on the other. So I'm going to continue this. It was cut off. I'll just edit it together. You have to completely lose them. You have to completely lose them. And in order to completely lose them, it doesn't matter if they come back in or not. You're not doing it for that. You're doing it so that you can bring the attention back to your own life. Because as long as your focus is over there, it's not coming to be. You're preventing, if there even is an option of it happening, which you cannot lay your hat on, it certainly isn't manifesting in the physical world. So at some point you have to leave it. You have to be able to transcend it. And the only way, because the connection is so strong and the connection is at the spiritual level, at the spirit level, at the energy level, at vibrational level, you have to rise to that level. That means that you are forced into this spiritual awakening and transitioning to transcending the ego, which is ego death, is what we keep on going through. We rise in certain aspects, and we overcome certain aspects of our belief system, and then we keep on getting caught back up in places that we still have the work to do, in places that we still haven't let go. And it comes to these deeper and deeper and deeper levels that we didn't even know, that we never lived in before. Deeper levels of emotion, deeper levels of connection, deeper levels of who we believe that we are. We start transcending. It's really quick when you start transcending all the outer layers, all of the obvious things, all of the things that you had already halfway awareness of. But then you get into those deeper levels. The release that you have to release them is on every single humanoid level. So it takes you to the core of your emotions. It takes you through the full spectrum of your emotions, all of your weaknesses. It drags you through every aspect of your human being. So every aspect of the ego, that means we're fully uncovering our subconscious. We are fully opening our lotus flower. We are fully opening our mind and understanding the workings of ourselves. We're coming into complete self-mastery through this divine connection that, I don't know. It's like I keep saying, I don't know, you can call it twin flame, counterpart, whatever. You find this perfect reflection of you, a person that can reflect. See, I have come into the belief that the counterpart that I am having this twin flame journey with, first of all, I can see how it was already written before I even got here, and trusting that I see that it was already written, I can trust that it's already written into the future. And that's another point, that you can just let go and see how it unfolds. And the more you let go, the more naturally you allow it, and quickly you allow it to unfold for you. Because as long as you are pushing against what is in the physical world, you're still looking at it. You're looking at it. You're perpetuating it. You're making it stay. It takes over your whole life, and then you feel completely depleted. And I think that is part of this. Like I was saying in the video that I did this morning, that you get to a point on this where you don't even have the energy to hold up feelings about yourself. You don't have the energy to hold up any faces. You get into pure following your nose. It's just like, what do I feel like doing right now? I'm not holding up any have-tos, should-bes, expectations of myself even. You get to where you just come to a place where you're naked and you're all hanging out, and you're walking through the world feeling like you are a slug with no, like a snail, like a slug with no shell. That you are completely vulnerable to the world. But at the same time, it comes from a place where you also find complete strength, because when you're so flat like that with the universe, you don't have time for not only your own masks, but you certainly don't have time for the masks of others. And that's when you start flipping people's masks off. It's like you're coming into your higher self, and you do it nicely and lovingly, but it's just like you just can't sit in that place that is out of sync with nature, God, of what is really important. This spiritual awakening is a mass awakening, and this is the most important. This is the God's work, helping, guiding others through whatever it is that I have passed through, and it comes to a place where the God's work needs to take the front seat over catching in the physical world. Oh, am I going to get my twin? Am I not going to get my twin? It's so small next to what you were meant to do here on this earth, and the message and the vibration that you have to bring. And that is the combined mission of the counterparts. They reflect you back to yourself until you self-deliver yourself in your highest form of being. And that is also where a lot of this unconditional love comes in, because it's tough love. Had I had caught him 2 years ago, the spiritual lessons that I have learned in separation have forced me to cross over, have forced me to go through myself. All of that pain is like the biggest blessing that you could ever give. What is the biggest gift that somebody can give you? Is the gift of yourself to you. The gift of yourself to you. And that's where this unconditional love, it comes in, because you start realizing, wow, through all of the pain of the journey and through all of that push away, the rejection, and you just can't believe it, and you're getting rejected again and again and again, and you just can't believe it. And that's where the stories come in. All the stories of, if I just do this, if I just do that, then maybe we can be together. Or the stories of, in the end, we're going to be together. All of those stories have to be deleted. Quit thinking them. Bring all that focus back into your own life. Imagine now that you've cleaned so much of your plate, but all of your focus and power has been focused on your counterpart. First of all, think how intense that is for them. All of your being, all of your energy is being, it's like, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming for them. Imagine it. Imagine if you have somebody that's coming after you and all of their attention is bound on you, and they are a a powerful being. You will feel that when you're laying in bed at night. I'm on my way to the hot springs, and I'm almost there right now. I'm driving right along the Israeli-Jordan border, which is on my left over here. So you have to be able to let go of those narratives, but completely let them go. The superficial letting go, I know that well. It's like you're lying to yourself because you felt this connection. You've never felt this kind of, the person inside and out. You look at their mass body. It looks like it looks like you're looking at your own familiarness. You're so familiar with them. It's like you are one, and you can see that it is divine. You look at them like you're coming home. It's like you've always known them. All of a sudden, I recognize that he was there when I was in my childhood. It was always there. And all of a sudden, you're remembering past lives with this person. So you come to a place where you just can't believe it. It can't be true. And then you start putting all hopes like, okay, it's because this is reflected to me and this is reflected to me. And you start working on yourself and doing the self-repairs. Now imagine how powerful of a being you will be when you pull all that energy back and start putting it on yourself. And it's already purified energy. It's super intense. We've already done so much of the work. Just to be able to pull yourself back to yourself is a powerful. You have to be so powerful to be able to see them and just say, okay, fly. I'm going to be over here and I'm going to be making the best life I can for me. And in doing that, you also let them off the hook. So that's also unconditional love. And what is the language of the world? The language of God is love. So then it all comes together at once. It all pinpoints into one place, which is in this existence, this 3D mode, heaven on earth, finding heaven on earth, coming into your highest self, coming into your higher self. And we just keep on doing the work. Now I'm having more, all of these things, they come in where you see that your energy is off, where you see that you're still in chasing mode. You keep on finding these little twerks in you that you didn't even know were there. And it brings you closer and closer back to your authentic self, which is the transcending, which is bringing the focus back to yourself, which is to quit being moved by anything outside of you, by allowing and appreciating your twin for what is and wanting to see them just fly. Even if the flying is without you, you get to witness it. That is pure love. You get to give the gift of freedom from you to your twin. And then you're also aligned with yourself. And when you bring all that power back to you, all that power that you've been pushing into a place that doesn't want to receive it right now, doesn't want to receive it and doesn't have to receive it. You have to let go like that. And part of the work is having to do the work. So I'm still finding places in me. So I got here to the hot springs. I'm questioning within myself if the reason that, if it was a correct reason that I came, if I was really listening to my internal intuition about it, if I should have handled things a little bit differently, if I should have stayed at home and did dishes. And I realized that, you see, all of these things start coming up and you start obsessing over them because you are so far into the spiritual awakening. And part of the letting go is letting your own self, realizing that, okay, if I ended up here, then that is where I'm at. That is the path that I chose, given the place that I am on my journey, so that it has to come into play for me to be able to burn it out, or to be able to differentiate between myself and my ego, between myself and the addictions, the trying to catch, the chasing. Because we tell ourselves stories to legitimatize our actions, whereas when you purify your thoughts and you purify and align your emotions together, then your actions come automatically from that higher place, and you become more and more loyal and also knowing of yourself. As long as there's places that are still cloudy, that you can't fully see yourself in, and you know of these places, then you still have work to do. There's still going to be shadows, aspects, and you're still going down the tunnel, and it can be as quick as that. Once you enter into the light, all of your decisions come from the light. So I can feel within myself that I'm already there most of the time, and I still have those glitches, and I see that the glitches happen faster and faster. I get the lessons faster and faster. I'm letting go. I'm truly letting go. And truly letting go feels like, first of all, it feels like liberating. It feels liberating, and it feels exuberating. Is that even a word? It feels empowering, and it feels that there's wonder in it. Like you get curious. Oh, what's going to be? And you get curious about your twin, and also you begin to enjoy your twin more, because all of a sudden you can watch them without it hurting or meaning something about you, and you can watch all their quirks and all of their funny. It's like it's like watching this funny version of yourself get all tripped up, but it's like a version of yourself that is opposite. Like the places that you're tripped up, they're exactly tripped up opposite, like in the like the opposite side of the spectrum. That's why we heal each other, because we're bringing each other back down to the zero mark. Like we're meeting in the middle of that spectrum. I'm out of balance this way, he's out of balance that way. So it's like that yin and yang, or the energies aren't aligned. So in order to bring that perfect equanimity, perfect equal energy, then I have to strengthen in some of the things, and he has to soften. And so that is how we are coming into and teaching each other the balance of each of the archetypes, or each of the vibrations. Like if my vibration is offbeat, two steps backward, his will be offbeat, 2 steps forward, and then we slowly balance each other out and bring each other back to the medium. But this is a process. It's a process. And it is going and going and going. And the more it progresses, the more we get ourselves back, and the more we find our own power, and the more we become in love and in sync with life, and the more that we rise above the illusion and see what's really important. Because when you start losing your own ego, you don't have time for other people's egos. That's for sure. The pain is so deep and stuff. It's not in a way of like eliteness. It's not, it doesn't come from a place, it just comes from a place of that you can see the shadows, and you can see that it's not the person's soul. So you just bypass their ego and go straight to their soul, right? And you just speak directly to their soul without um, without giving any power to those weaknesses or to those archetypes that are out of balance, or to their shadows. Like, you see their behaviors and what and why they are doing what they're doing, and you just completely disregard it and bypass and go straight to the soul. And that is what sparks people's spiritual awakening, because it sparks you. When somebody comes and speaks directly to your soul, it means they bypassed all of your faces, all of your masks, and it didn't work on you. Um, it awakens the soul. The soul all of a sudden is shocked, because the soul is kind of beaten into submission from the ego, with all these faces, and the ego is saying how the ego is like ruling the 3D world, right? Your ego is your tool to master this 3D world. You have the mind that sits in the ego, you have the archetypes that sit in the ego, you have the emotions that sit, everything that all of the tools that you are given to maneuver and move with this 3D illusion that we're in, this 3D slower vibration realm, right? Because we have the higher vibration put into this earth vibration, which is the body, the vessel. And so I lost the train. So I think that I've said enough. I think that the points were very well made. Maybe if it comes back to me, I'll come back to it. But I've parked here and the windows are closed and I'm a little bit hot too. And I think that that's what's pulling me away from the channeling, is the avatar needs attention. And so yeah, it's rising above us thinking that we are the avatar. It's awakening the soul from the slumber. When you come and you meet somebody and you come in and you tickle their soul from behind all their masks, and you just like bypass all the masks. First of all, the masks start falling, so it's painful for them because they're seen. They're not used to being so vulnerable or open or seen, and that can really jolt someone. And that is those are the superpowers that we are getting on this spiritual awakening. And also we're going through our own pride. Like we lose all pride. That means we're losing all of our, we go for what we feel more, and not about, oh, what are people going to think of me? That's like that. Like at some point that so falls off once you realize that everybody is on their own, in their own story, they're the star of their own story. Their opinion of you is always going to be in relativity to them. So it doesn't matter. You're always playing a part in their story. So you might as well play the part you want to play, right? You get to tell the world who you are, not what are they going to think of me? Oh no, their judgment needs to shape who I think I get to be. You see that is a superficial, very shallow, not trusting in the divine, not trusting in yourself, not seeing yourself, feeling unworthy way of existence, weak, no opinion, no strong values that internally guide you. Rather, you get pushed around by the wind of others. And the thing is that when you start going through the spiritual awakening, you see that everybody is lost. Like most of humanity is lost. And then like 99.9% of humanity are lost. There is a massive movement. There is massive awakening now. And I'm not saying this in a place of judgmentalness. I'm saying this in a place of where you can completely let go of the idea of what others think about me matters. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant to you. What you think of you is relevant to you. And other people are just players in your game that you get to learn from from the co-creation, from the interaction, from the stimulation, from watching their avatar and all of the places that they're stuck and where that meets me and how I perceive it and what it means for me. Because then you see that the universe is always bringing you to your next level, is always bringing you to the places that and at the right time and the right place. That's why I said I let go. I got here. There's a reason why I'm here. I know there's a reason, even if it's just to make this video along the way. And so when you start seeing that and completely trusting that it's divinely guided, this also helps you let go of your twin, because you become, wait, if we're in separation, then that means that there is a purpose for it. There's a higher purpose for it. And it all comes back to release and doing your God's work. Whatever you're drawn to do now, do. If you're drawn to make a drawing now because it's right now, it inspired, you have that picture in your mind, but you have to go to work, start following your God's work. It's a process, but start following it and it'll open up for you. And you'll start seeing that every time that you follow that intuition, every time you follow that internal light, it leads you to the next step in your story. And after a while, you see that you're sitting on top. And you think you're doing nothing. You think that you're running away. You think that oh, these last years I've just been here, and you don't notice how much knowledge, tools, um, the diamonds, the mountain of diamonds that you're sitting on now, even just in the knowing of the process and being privileged to be in this, So when you become grateful, when you start looking at all of your blessings, then all of your blessings open up in front of your eyes. And then you start going into resolutions of that. When you are in appreciation, you don't have time for the ego to say, oh, poor me, poor me, poor me. You're looking for appreciation in the world. You're appreciating nature. You're appreciating your children. You start getting into the vibration of appreciation, which is very, very different than the vibration of, oh, where's my twin? It's lack. You can feel the difference between those 2 points that I just pointed out. Just if you listen internally to yourself as I say the things, you'll feel that shift in energy. You'll feel that how light it makes you feel when and inspired when you know that you have within you the power of the universe, and that you're so appreciative that you have a pillow to put your head on. You're so appreciative that we live in these times where change is happening so fast, and that there is this mass awakening. And we're so privileged to have the loved ones that we have and the relationships that we have, and to be able to even have internet, to be able to see and to be on a spiritual awakening. I mean, you have to be in a place where you can perceive the spiritual awakening, which means that you're already ahead of the game. And so you can be, and so you can feel the high energy in that, the energy of growth and the energy of prosperity. Whereas the energy of where's my twin? It's very 3D. It's very egotistical. It's very me. I'm in pain. I need to grab him. I need a solution. I. And as long as you're in I, you're also in separation, because it's not feeling like you already have it, which you do at a higher level. And that's why it feels like home. It feels like. And so when you can realize that you already have it within yourself, just balance your internal energy and you've balanced that energy. And it's easier said than done, but slowly listen to this again and again. This is something that will slowly sink in, and there's layers to it. There's layers to it, and you'll get it as you, it will come to you, the release of this, as the closer you get to the release, you will be able to comprehend the deeper levels that you are hearing now. You can also trust that if it's already in, it's already in. So I'm going to go into the hot springs and see why I was divinely guided to arrive here. And I will See you guys in a later video. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Sending you guys so much love.